Welcome, Platinum members, to today's Mastermind webinar, part 2 of attracting, hiring, training, and keeping the right people on your team so you can go somewhere big and get there quick. This is Todd Walters, Platinum Coach, and of course it's always a pleasure to take time out of our busy schedules to work on our business. And I want to encourage everyone to do that as often as you can find time, even if you have to schedule time in to work on your business. I was actually reading an article recently where most entrepreneurs, business owners, including real estate team leaders like you guys, spend maybe 5% of their working schedules every month actually working on growing their real estate business. Okay, now, just imagine if you doubled that, to say 10% of your time working on growing your real estate business. There are a lot of systems that we all have on our checklist and things to do that we want to implement. But just remember, throughout this whole process, cash flow is key. Okay, without cash, there is no business. Okay, and if you don't spend time working on your business, you're going to forever be married to it. So one of the key components of growing a successful real estate enterprise is leveraging off of people. So here we are, part 2 of attracting, hiring, training, keeping the right people on your team so you can absolutely grow it to be more profitable, get to where you want to get to real quick, and we all want to accomplish different things here. Part 2 is hiring only those who will produce profit and repelling all the rest. Here we are right, let's say a quarter of the way into this course, and I think that's probably the best definition for what we're working on right here. And it seems to be something that plagues all of us, right? We all complain on a regular basis about our business not being where we want it to be, and I would expect everyone to have that complaint. And my guess is it never will be. Perfection is something that we'll never have, but we're going to work on it every day. And we know that a big component, a key component, as I mentioned, in all of this is having good people around us that we can depend on, leverage off of, to help us do a great job of servicing customers and clients, taking care of prospects, and taking advantage of opportunities and exploring new systems, and lead generation, and cash, all leading up to great cash flow for our business. People become such a huge element of this that it cannot be overlooked. And the sooner the better that we all learn to be good recruiters, not necessarily good managers, but good recruiters, which comes back to being in the marketing business. Okay, the management side of it, you're going to have to rely heavily on systems. Most entrepreneurs aren't really good managers. So when we get into part 3 and part 4 of this series here, we're going to get into some of that and talk about the whole management aspect of people and how we must really get good at systems and how far we should go with the whole management of this aspect of outside salespeople. But now, on part 2, we're going to talk about turning these prospects that we've generated into profit centers, and who will produce profit for us. Okay, now part 1 was all about your automatic reverse prospecting system, setting that whole thing up so that it runs daily, weekly, monthly, on generating an ongoing steady stream of real estate agents who are very interested in what it is that you do day in and day out and how they will benefit. Okay? So now, on part 2, what we're going to discover today over the next hour is the whole group interview process, what it looks like, what we say, what we do, the whole PowerPoint benefits presentation part of this group interview. Welcoming all of these attendees into our group interview, the benefits presentation itself, how to close them all up on saying, yes, I want to be a part of this organization, dealing with the questions and what answers we should be giving, and of course any objections that might come up here along the way. Because in a group setting, don't think that you won't have somebody in there, whether you've got 2 people or 10, possibly more, in a group interview, and one person can raise an objection. It's a great opportunity for you to shine, but can also be an opportunity for disaster. So we're going to deal with that. Then who to fire and what happens next, right? So the whole who to fire I kind of use, I wonder if you guys would catch that, but it seems like most of us are really quick to hire folks, but slow to fire. But I'm telling you, once you get the right people on the bus, and it can be troubling, as we all know, to find the right people. But once you do, you're going to be less interested in firing folks and more interested in hiring more people like that. But right now, we all need to have this paradigm of slow to hire, quick to fire. There's no sense in keeping someone around that is not a profit center for you. Okay. So with that, the whole Platinum Recruiting Group interview is something that Craig Proctor turned me on to back in the mid-'90s when I began to grow my real estate business. And it was great leverage, just absolutely wonderful to only spend an hour a month interviewing real estate agents all at the same time. So this whole system really centered around this piece right here. You got your automatic reverse prospecting system that we all worked on in part one of this and discussed quite intently. It's posted. I would recommend everybody go back and watch that webinar and print off that PowerPoint and set systems up around that. But the group interview is great leverage at work here. So here's how it works. Okay, agents are welcomed in, okay, and when they show up for your group interview time, and they've all been invited through the automatic reverse prospecting system to get here, agents are welcomed in. They're checked off on the list of invitees, so you know who showed up and who's not. Offer them some coffee or other beverages. We just had coffee and water. It was real simple. And then they're instructed to take a seat at a table in the training room, and sitting in front of them at each seat is a welcome letter with what's going to happen and what they should be doing next. A team brochure, which is relevant information about what we do and how we do it. The DISC personal concept, if and only if you don't have one on file or you don't have that incorporated into your system beforehand, and we discussed that at length in the last part. And, of course, an interview acknowledgement form, okay? And you allow about 10 minutes or 15 minutes for all of these folks to get in and get settled, read over some information. Now, if you're going to be coming in at 10:15, you need to make sure that you tell them that in your welcome letter, okay? So let's take a look at the welcome letter. The group Q&A welcome letter that's sitting right in front of them in big, bold letters when they come in, it just says welcome, okay? And you can see it right here on your screen. Thank you for spending the next hour with us discussing opportunities at growing your real estate business. You'll find a DISC personal concept in front of you. This is a necessary document needed as part of your application with our company. If you will take the time now to complete it, we greatly appreciate it. Simply follow the instructions on the concept. Now, if you've already given them the DISC personal concept, and that's part of your system beforehand, and you have the option of doing that, and again, we discussed that in part one, then obviously we're not going to talk about that. You'll also find an article that was done by RE Magazine about our real estate company and how we're able to generate a steady stream of motivated buyers and sellers. So here's what we did. We contacted a local real estate publication for Georgia agents and did an article, and we actually paid for the article to have it done. So it was like a paid endorsement, so to speak, by this real estate magazine, and we turned it into a great recruiting piece. You can do the same. So we asked them to take time, read through it, and then we're eager to share with them all the many ways that we found success in this business. And then we go on to say in the welcome letter, you'll also find an interview acknowledgement form. And we want to draw attention to this now, because at the completion of this question and answer period, so we're setting their expectations about what's going to happen next, that if they're interested in the next step in the interview process, they can just check yes or no, right? I kind of equal it to back when we were in elementary school, and we would pass a note along to our girlfriends and some of you ladies on the webinar, your boyfriends, on, hey, if you like me, check yes or no, right? So that's kind of what the interview acknowledgement form is, and we'll get to that here a little bit later in our webinar today. Okay, so that's the group Q&A welcome letter that's right in front of them and what it should cover. And then, of course, you walk in, and I'm going to look at this from my standpoint. I would walk into the room, welcome everyone, okay, and get started right away with the group benefits presentation, okay? And what you're looking at on your screen is exactly what's on the screen as they enter the room and sit down and look what's in front of them, and they're looking at the big screen right in front, okay? Building a legacy by building up others, okay? So I come in and get started, and it would go something like this. Welcome, everyone. I want to thank everybody for making time today to show up here and listen to what I have to say. I know that time is very, very precious and scarce for all of us in the real estate business, but I think that you'll find over the next hour that you'll find some benefits, and you'll see how you can even multiply your time, okay? And Todd Walters and Associates, our real estate company, is all about making real estate dreams a reality. So what we're going to discuss today over the next hour are the career opportunities that will help you build a better real estate business for yourself, okay? And doing it with possibly our real estate company here, Todd Walters and Associates. How we can take the whole process of selling real estate and shorten it up for you. Instead of it taking months and months and months to build a real estate business and turn leads into cash flow, how you can literally step right into buyers and sellers that want to buy and sell their property right now so that you can make and keep more money right now. How you can work more reasonable hours, have a steady flow of qualified appointments, and of course that leads to predictable sales, and all of the leading edge coaching and training that make it all possible. And all of this will add up to you enjoying a higher quality of life, okay? Now, it's important for me to let you know what our mission statement is here at our real estate company. And that is to create value-added life experiences for each other and our clients, serving all, making real estate dreams realities. Okay? And the reason that I wanted to share our mission statement with you is because it's what we do, it's how we operate, it's what we build the business on, and what we seek to accomplish day in and day out. So it's important that you know what that is and buy into it. And our vision is to be the real estate team that other real estate teams measure themselves by, okay? Now, the philosophy behind all of this is that good enough never really is, okay? So at Todd Walters and Associates, our mission's really clear, okay? And again, just so everybody's clear, it is to create value-added life experiences for each other, our clients, serving all, making real estate dreams realities. Okay, now, here's how most agents operate, right? And this is a real problem in the industry, okay? It's a one-person show, and you're trying to juggle all the balls, sales, servicing, administration, even marketing. So it's kind of like being a massage therapist. You can really only work on one person at a time. So there's very little time left in the day, in the weeks, and the months for yourself, for you to enjoy a lot of the fruits of your labor and spend time with your kids and your family. So we've developed a different system for selling houses. We call it the ultimate home selling system, really like the office of the future. So when a buyer or seller hires us, they actually get a whole team of professionals working for them versus a single agent. So we've departmentalized everything. And this allows you, the real estate agent, to spend more time doing what you're really good at, selling houses. You see, that the team approach is the preferred way of serving clients in most other fields of business. So when a buyer or seller hires us, they get a team with years, over 200 years of combined real estate experience, thousands of successful transactions behind them, all of that working to their benefit. And of course, for you, the real estate professional involved, possibly involved in our business, the benefit is, again, you get to spend more time doing what you got into the business to do in the first place, and that is sell more homes, make more money, and have more free time to enjoy that, right? So let's take a look at how we do it compared with, say, the old school mentality, okay? Old school mentality, or the way most real estate agents do it out there, is manually grunt prospecting. They're making mind-numbing cold calls, doing floor time, working with clients that they don't like because they feel like they have to. They live with a pager or cell phone strapped to their waist, or laying on their nightstand and when they go to bed at night. They're a slave to every poorly qualified prospect who doesn't necessarily value the time that they put in. But our home selling system, which is different, is all about PPRA, prospects pursued, run away. So we're going to stop chasing prospects. And then we're going to compel these prospects to call using emotional direct response advertising. And then we take technology that's available and we automatically sift and sort and screen out all of these leads to find the most qualified, ready-to-act prospects, and then work only with prospects that you want to work with. Repel all of the other buyers and sellers out there that don't value what you want to do, want to fight you on your money and commissions. Okay? Now, more on the old school compared to our home selling system. Old school way of doing it, the way most real estate agents are doing it right now, wasting tons of money on image advertising, bragging about how great they are, right? Holding ineffective 3-hour open houses just because they don't know what else to do or to pacify the seller. Continuing to run ads that really don't work because you don't know what else to do again. Wasting one morning every week on caravans. Basically just being sick and tired of being sick and tired. But our home selling system, which is all about prospects pursued, run away, we step in and present compelling benefits to prospects, giving them specific and tangible reasons to want to work with you without any hard selling at all. And then you only work with prospects that value your services. Discard all of the rest. So obviously this leads to a love of what you're doing, and you have fun helping qualify and sincere clients. And you can be free to enjoy a rewarding personal life and now run a very profitable business at the same time. So what is your definition of a real estate career? Okay, well, mine is that you have a steady stream of clients who automatically seek out your valuable services without you having to do any cold prospecting, right? And you're viewed with respect by clients who value your advice, and you're able to easily provide them with superior service and results, which leads them to refer you to others and give you their repeat business. You work a normal work week or less. You take plenty of time off to pursue outside interests and make a rewarding income. But how do you get there? Okay, so now you've gotten a really good idea, agents who are sitting in the room and watching this group interview benefits presentation, right? You've gotten a really good idea of the differences of Todd Walters and Associates versus the other real estate companies out there and real estate agents, okay, and our definition of a successful real estate career. So let's talk about how we actually get there at it, how we arrive there, okay, and what the benefits are for you. First of all, there are 4 stages in the real estate process, right? We all should recognize that buying or selling a home is a process and not an event, okay? Now, I'm going to pause right here just for a minute because I want to draw just a couple of things to your attention, everyone that's watching and listening right now. And all you fantastic platinum members. And that is that we absolutely have the room, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 real estate agents that have showed up at our group interview today. We have their attention fully now. And the reason is this, okay? This is a problem, solution, benefits type presentation. Okay, let's make sure everybody understands that. Problem, solution, benefits. We identify a problem, okay? We share with them what our solutions are and then how they benefit. And that's what's going on here. So there's really no selling involved in trying to talk the agents into coming to do business with us if you have a really good benefits presentation that does that, right? So that's what we're seeing right here. So back to the benefits presentation, talking to these agents. Again, there are 4 stages in the real estate process. Okay, buying or selling homes is a process, not an event, right? So just like it's a process for the buyer or seller, it's a process for us, the real estate agent. We've got to find prospects, and then we've got to convert the prospects into clients, and we have to service these folks so that they stick around. Look, the market's tough. We don't want to downplay that. It's tough right now, and we've got to keep these buyers and sellers along for the ride, motivated to go out there and buy and sell. So service is a huge aspect of this. And then we want to leverage their satisfaction so that we can get not just their repeat business, but the referrals out of it. And my favorite, testimonials. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, let's take a look. The activity of finding prospects, again, the old traditional way, the old school mentality is cold calling and grunt prospecting, right? But our system is that we run direct response lead generators, direct response marketing. This is a scientifically proven method for generating prospects that doesn't involve any cold calling or prospecting. Okay, we do that using regular channels of marketing, but it's the words and the way and the direct response components that we use that are proprietary and exclusive that most real estate agents never even heard of. Okay, this generates a very solid, steady stream of prospects and leads. And then we use hotline robots to automatically answer, sift, and sort out these best prospects. Okay. Now, when it comes to the activity of converting prospects to clients, the old school, traditional way of doing it, right, is that the real estate agents will say, hey, please pick me because I really want your business, and I'll work really hard for you. I'm number one, or my company's the biggest, or I have lots of designations. Okay, but instead of all of that, which is all about me, 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 no real benefits in it for the prospect that we're trying to convert to a client, we continue with our home selling system, step 3, which is implement our follow-up systems. We convert prospects to appointments through a very specific follow-up system by compellingly presenting benefits to the prospect, okay, with no selling at all. And when it comes to the activity of servicing clients so that they get what they want, most real estate agents are racing around, exhausted in the few minutes left at the end of the day, trying to be everything to everyone and not really succeeding very well in any of it. Because there is a business principle that if you try to be all things to all people, you will dilute your effectiveness. But our home selling system, step number 5, provides wow service through leverage because we have systems and assistants to handle the quantum leap in business. And the activity of leveraging their satisfaction into future business, most real estate agents have this burn them and turn them deal. Get a customer, sell them a house, move on to the next customer. But we're able to leverage off of their satisfaction to create future business through testimonials and referrals. Okay, and of course they keep coming back to buy from us over and over again. So with our system, your success is imminent. Okay, so let's just recap that one more time so everybody understands. 6 simple steps to success at our real estate company. Okay, all right, 6 distinct steps that will help you really understand how to make more money. Get the prospects to raise their hands and identify themselves and call us. Our system does that. Get the prospects to sort themselves into those who are ready to act now versus those who are acting in a longer time frame. Our system already does that. Then convincing the prospects to meet with us. Okay, this is where you come in, the real estate agent. You just simply call people back who are wanting you to call, expecting your phone call. Okay, and present benefits to them so that they willingly sign buyer agreements and listing contracts. Okay, and then giving them wow service is easy because of the leverage here at our real estate team. And of course that leads to referrals and you're able to build future business on top of that. So these 6 steps provide the structure of our home selling system. Now, how do we generate all these leads that we've been talking about? Well, we absolutely have an exclusive marketing system that most real estate agents have never heard of. Many of you in the room have seen it at work out there in the marketplace. And the marketing system that we have really puts ourselves on the other side of the cash register. We enter the conversation already going on in our prospects' heads, which means our marketing system talks to and about them. It gives the prospects real benefits and compelling reasons to call us to get more information. Okay? And we do this in a non-threatening way. And when you put all those things together, you automatically have leads, prospects, buyers, and sellers calling us rather than us having to pick up the phone and do any cold calling at all. Okay, now, I believe that you're only limited by the limits that you place on yourself. So the career opportunities are simply, we need licensed realtors, but only those who passionately want to help others and make a rewarding income. So let's talk about the job description then. The job description of you, okay, if you're interested and if we can come to a win-win here on a relationship together, is to, number 1, convert buyers and sellers to signed agreements, okay, at face-to-face appointments using our benefits presentations. Okay, the same tools and systems that I use to sell thousands of properties. Okay, number 2 is to complete the paperwork, which is actually the signed agreements, VIP buyers and VIP sellers, listing paperwork, and then turn that into our processing department. Because as you know, you've got a copy of your working clients, and so does a brokerage. Okay, and then we want to add the buyer to our home hunter service system. Okay, show buyer appointments, properties, communicate with sellers weekly. Okay, submit offers weighted in the client's favor, handle any earnest money that's coming in, negotiate home inspections, do the closing plan activities, review the settlement statements with buyers and the sellers, okay, and go to closing. That's the job description of real estate agents. So think about what's missing here. Yeah, all of the prospecting and much of the servicing aspect so that you can spend more time doing what you're really good at, selling houses. Okay, you will be able to focus on helping the seller sell and the buyer buy. No prospecting, no cold calling at all. This will allow you to give much better service and results and to be an expert at the home buying and selling process. Okay, obviously you can see how now the process is becoming shorter when you take out the prospecting element and you step right into an ongoing business with leads, buyers and sellers who want to buy and who want to sell, who need to buy and who need to sell, and they're given to you on a silver platter. Okay? Obviously, the whole process of cultivating that beforehand, it's gone. So you can achieve the success that you want faster. And you're able to do this through our Jumpstart training system, our workshops, and we mentor you for success. We're not going to just turn you loose out there and let you figure it out on your own. And, of course, immediate leads and appointments. Okay, I love this quote from Victor Hugo, which is that the future has several names. For the weak, it is impossible. For the faint-hearted, it's unknown. And for the thoughtful and valiant, it's ideal. So you are a thoughtful and valiant real estate professional. That's why you're here today at this group interview, listening to me, taking part in the second phase of the interview process, and possibly joining our real estate organization. Okay, you're wanting something better than what you're experiencing right now. And I believe we have it for you. Okay? Like making and keeping more money. It's real simple. By having a steady stream of prospects and sales appointments, your pipeline remains full, allowing you more opportunities at building relationships with buyers and sellers. More opportunities equals more sales, right? Because you're pretty good at selling. I bet you that if you just had more leads today, you could sell more houses. Okay? Now, more sales equals more money. Now, when you take out all the expenses, that's no marketing cost, no advertising, no prospecting expense, and the time associated with all of that, it adds up to more net income for you. More sales plus more net income means you're just going to make and keep more. And it really should be about, at the end of the day, how much money you have left in your pocket, okay, after your expenses, right? So, working more reasonable hours. Well, the reason most real estate agents get into the business is to make more money and have more freedom, right? But the first thing that goes is the freedom. According to national statistics, 80% of all real estate agents get out of the business within just a short period of time. And that's a real shame. But we know what happens, right? Lack of income, too much time and expense trying to figure it all out, chasing down prospects and being a slave to every poorly qualified prospect out there. Brokers are really no help out there. Very few places you could turn to get help. But since we're on the leading edge of the industry with marketing and the technology, you benefit. You get to spend more time doing what you got into the business to do in the first place, making more money and controlling your own work schedule. So some other benefits as a member of our real estate team, you get to work from your home office. Right? You get a full-time connection to our custom contact management system. We supply ready-to-act leads and appointments, so there's no wasted time prospecting. And by having something that the prospect wants so badly, they will be willing to meet with you on your schedule, not theirs. Working more reasonable hours will help you live a more balanced and fulfilling life. Spending time doing what you enjoy doing, selling houses. a steady flow of prospects. Now, we touched on this a little bit about how our marketing system works, right? But at our real estate company, we practice what we call reverse prospecting. That means that all of the prospects and clients that we help purchase a home or sell a home, they called us first. We do no cold calling whatsoever. So through innovative and many exclusive consumer programs, we get over 1,500 motivated buyers and sellers calling us every month. Then we screen the prospects out. Remember, we use technology and systems and assistants to sift and sort these prospects into those who are ready to act and those who are willing to act in a longer time frame. So after screening them out, we pass them right on to you. Okay, we even have an inside sales department that talks to many of these prospects, so you're going to get just appointments. Right, so you're getting leads and appointments passed right on to you as an outside sales specialist on our team. You run out there, you do your thing, converting them to a client and a sale. So let's think about it. How many sales would you have if you were only focusing on getting agreements signed versus pursuing prospects? See, our prospect generation system is just like a giant funnel, and you're here at the bottom of the funnel. You get the cream of the crop. It's like a filter, right? Cream of the crop. Face-to-face meetings with interested buyers and sellers. Appointments set by our leading-edge inside sales department. I think it all starts with a good, solid foundation. So this is one of my favorite verses from the Bible, right out of Matthew, who was a tax collector turned follower of Christ. And he said simply, look, repeating what Jesus said, like if you have a crappy foundation, any old storm's just going to come and wash it away. Okay, and this is why many real estate agents get out of business today. Like, they've got a good foundation about understanding the license law, but when it comes to selling houses and marketing and generating prospects and growing the real estate business, there's no foundation at all. It's not taught. It's not taught in schools. It's not taught in colleges. And it's definitely not taught at real estate licensing schools, right? And most real estate brokerages don't teach it because they're in the real estate agent acquisition business. But we're in the real estate sales business. So you're beginning right away when you're into our real estate company with a rock-solid foundation. Where else can you go as a real estate agent right here in Metro Atlanta and get a coach, a real estate coach, who's still in the business, sold thousands of homes, helped thousands of families, made millions and millions and millions of dollars in commissions selling real estate? Then get that person to give you everything that they've used to be successful, show you daily how to use it, and how you too can achieve the success that you want as a real estate professional. And the answer is nowhere. So we train you extensively right up front, and we're going to keep on coaching you forever. Okay? It starts with our exclusive 3-day Awesome Agents Workshop. And then we move on to our mentoring program. And then, of course, we get together on the phone on a monthly basis, and we have role-playing calls to make sure we're all on the same page with how we're doing, converting prospects to appointments over the telephone. But we get together as a group, as a sales team, for monthly meetings, and we have a company shindig every quarter with some outside speakers that come in and share some experiences with us. Okay? And then we're always looking for folks who can be true leaders in our company and help others out as well. And I love the fact that we're all working for a common cause, and that is to help the prospects out there in our marketplace get into their next home, get rid of their house, and get a fresh start if that's what they want, but just genuinely have a great experience from buying and selling real estate. So you get everything, all the scripts and dialogues, step-by-step procedures, the VIP buyer benefits presentations, our ultimate listing presentation, professional service agreements, our guaranteed sale programs, leading-edge technology, leading-edge coaching, everything. Everything that I used for years to sell thousands of homes, make millions of dollars in commission, you just get it all, okay? And I believe this will help you enjoy a higher quality life because part of our mission is you and your fulfillment. We want you to experience the best that life can offer, so we're here to serve you. We'll put our people's interest ahead of profits. That's what we do, and that's how we operate. So now, let's look at some of the income opportunities and what some of our other agents have done. In December, our our top agent was Cindy, and she made over $78,000 that month in gross commissions. Okay, and in January, Brian, he made over $53,000, almost $54,000 in gross commissions just in that 1 month. Now, obviously, that's a lot of money, and that's more than most real estate agents make in 1 or maybe even 2 years. Okay, but yes, every month that goes by, we'll have at least a team member here that has a massive month like that from good closing. So I wanted you guys to get a really good idea of the upside. Okay, but let's look at 5-year averages. Okay, for people just stepping into the game, so you can kind of see what to expect. Outside sales associate compensation last 5-year average. Okay, first year into it with our team, somewhere between $60,000–$80,000 or so for the first year with our real estate team, which is actually pretty good considering that most real estate agents, they don't have any closings for the first month or two. Most of them. Some have a couple of the first few weeks. It all depends on how good you are. Like, you're going to get the opportunities if you're chosen to work here. Okay, but that's the last 5-year average. For first, second year, it's usually 6 figures or better. Now, the difference between these numbers and numbers maybe that you've experienced before, this is net income. There are no marketing expenses. Now, the things that I'm really proud of are our commissions. We're able to get a much higher commission rate on average than all. So I'm really proud of the fact that our real estate commissions are among the highest out of all the real estate agents, real estate companies in our town. For example, most of you are, used to getting 3%, hopefully, on sales. But when we list a home, our commission is 7%, and sellers regularly give that to us, but we keep 4%. Plus, we get $495 up front from the sellers that we work with. Okay, and now, as I talk about this, and I know this might be something interesting to you, the fact is that we've just developed a way over the last several years to create more value for customers and clients. And remember that cost is only a factor in the absence of value. So when we provide more value, people will get their checkbooks out and pay. And since I've done thousands of real estate transactions, and this is what our commission is, it should be evidence to you that we have some very valuable systems that buyers and sellers are interested in. Now, our negotiating fee on buyer transactions is 4% plus a $495 transaction fee that's paid right up front. Okay? So, here's how you get paid. On transactions where you're the agent, right? We hand over a buyer or seller prospect. You run out there and sell them a house. Okay? We take whatever the commission is to come in, and we split it right down the middle after a corporate assessment. Okay? Kind of like a franchise fee. Take 20% right off the top. You get half the money after that, I get the other half. Now, what we do with our half is we pay for everything. We pay for the operational side of this business, the marketing side of this business, and all the other systems, research and development that go into making all of this stuff work. And that ends up being about a 20–25% bottom line profit for me, the business owner and team leader. So if you're okay with you getting half of that money and me ending up with around 20 or 25%, then we're probably going to get along really well. Okay, it's the same thing on seller deals and buyer deals. 20% comes right off the top as as a company assessment, something that is equivalent to a franchise fee, and then we split all the money right down the middle. Okay, you receive an additional bonus on multiple transactions in a month. That's right. So on your third transaction, we're going to give you an extra 5% bonus. On your fourth transaction, another 5%. Fifth transaction, another 5%. Now, if you run into a person at the grocery store who's in front of you, right in line, and they are, looking through a real estate magazine, and you say, hey, are you thinking about buying or selling a house? Well, yes, I am. Well, you can absolutely turn that buyer or seller into an appointment right then and there, and we'll even pay you a 20% referral fee to do it. So that's right. So anybody within your sphere of influence, okay, that you generate through referral or on your own, we'll take 20% off the top of the transaction, give it to you, okay, and then we'll do our pay plan after that. Okay, so that's how the compensation plan works. Now let's take a look in practicality what that ends up being, what the real bottom line is for you on average, okay? And it kind of works like this. Let's look at our average sales price, which our average sales price is $238,000 a month, okay? $238,000 average sales price. The commission, on average, 3.5%. Now that's a little bit below what our average real estate commission is, but if I threw numbers up here, 3.7%, 3.73%, which is our average commission, you might find that a little difficult to swallow since you're unfamiliar with how our system works. So I bumped it down a little bit to 3.5. So 3.5% of $238,000 is $8,330. So 3 sales a month with the pay plan that I just showed you on the screen is going to net you around 10,000 bucks. Okay? So that's an average work week of about 45 hours. Now, if we're giving you the leads and the appointments, all this coaching and training, everything necessary, do you believe you can convert 3 people into transactions a month? Of course you can. Hopefully you can do more. Okay? Some of you will be able to do more. Some may not be able to. But the bottom line is not all of you are going to have an opportunity here. So there is a difference in just selling homes and selling homes right. Okay, so from our team system to the real estate signs that we have all over town to our track record, okay, the amount of volume that we do, which is a big benefit for people out there because we can do more for them, okay, to the average sales price to list price ratio being a couple of percentage points more higher. On average, our listings sell much faster. So all of these are benefits that you get to use as leverage in converting prospects to signed agreements, right? To the marketing systems and our marketing presence out there in the marketplace, okay, from billboards to online marketing, all the way to the closings and the hundreds to thousands of satisfied customers and clients that we have over the years and years and years of doing business, many of which we have written testimonials and video testimonials from. You can trust me, our real estate company, to help you sell homes right. Okay, now let's take a look at what happens next. If we come to an agreement on working together, and again, this is not for everyone in the room, nor do we have room for everybody here. Okay, I'm going to personally make a guarantee to you that you will make at least $25,000 more working on my team. Over the next year, you'll make at least $25,000 more than you did last year. At least. Okay? And if you don't, I will pay you the difference. Okay, so through the teamwork, the systems, and the leverage, okay, all of us working together, we can achieve what it is we want to achieve. Okay, now what kind of questions do you have? So that is the benefits presentation for the group interview, and I thought it was important to spend a good 30 minutes in walking everybody through that and what the words that I use to articulate the benefits and describe how it is we do and what it is we do. It's always good to hear it, I guess, and then have a reference point that you guys can leverage off of as you put this system together in your business. Okay, but at this point, now we're obviously going to be taking questions from the agents out there. So let's run through some of the questions. And I think it would be a good time to bring Dana on. I'm hoping that she's connected because we had a break in our communication line here. Dana, are you there? If she can unmute her mic, hopefully. If not, then, you know,
Yep.
we're me. Okay,
Sorry.
good. I know what happened there. We had, I just kind of fell off. I had to call back in.
I know. I was like everybody else. All of a sudden, you just left.
That sucks. But you know what? It happens, eh? Okay, so but you've got some questions there. So let's take a few questions here from at this point from the members that are watching the webinar here. So let's rattle them off, and we'll try to get through them real quick.
Okay, our first question is from Mark Gastineau. He wants to know how many people are optimal for this group meeting, and is there ever like too many or too few?
We've had, and you've been in the room before, Dana, when we've had probably upwards of 30 people for an interview, and then I've done them with 2 or 3. So I don't think there is an optimal number. It's just that it's better to interview all the agents at one time versus doing it individually. So the best answer is no. There's no optimal number at all. Just the power of leverage. Next question.
Our next question comes from Francois. Let me find it.
Yeah, he wants to know when I'm coming to Montreal.
That's true. Do you ever answer questions during your presentation, or do you make people wait until the end?
Well, you know how it is. You got high D's out there, high I's in the room, and they can't help themselves but be impulsive and raise their hand and ask a question. And if it's a relevant question at the time, obviously, I would answer it. Or I may say, you know what, I am absolutely fixing to talk about that. Let me share that with you. And I keep moving through the benefits presentation that way. So you've got to use your own judgment on that. But I prefer to take questions at the end because they all pretty much get answered. How much money can I expect to make? You know, what do the leads look like? How do you generate leads? And you get into some of the things. Some people say, well, how does this guaranteed sell thing work? But I make a really good point, you know, when these kind of questions start coming up, and that is like, look, this is something that all of you in the room need to know about me. So, and I don't want you to share this with too many other people, okay? But I'm interested in you, the real estate agent, getting paid. Like, I know that many of you right now in the room today, you are working for free. How many homes did you list last year that you weren't able to sell? Where the homeowner called you up and said, hey, look, I know you've been trying to sell my home for 4 months here, but it just doesn't seem to be working, so I'll see you later. But how many buyers have you shown houses to that went out and bought homes on their own or from somebody else? See, that pains me to see that happen to you. So I'm going to show you how you can put an end to that and get paid from sellers, even if there's not a closing, from buyers, even if there's not a closing, and have these people be so loyal to you that they'll be referring folks to you before there's ever even a closing and be ready to give you their testimonial when it's all said and done. So if that's something that you like, then we're going to have the same philosophy, and we're going to all get along very, very well. Those of you who are interested in joining an organization and it works out well. So anyway, so we make that a point, you know, during the course. Whenever a question comes up, you can kind of diffuse the other questions by doing those sort of things and having those. I don't know what's the best word for that. Just having those things ready at the right time to fire out to everyone. So it quietens everybody down, lets them know that you're kind of one of them, and then it's important. That's really important here because that's what they're looking for. Next question, David.
Our next question is from Lenny Simonetti. He says, how long of a chance do you give people, whether they be an ISA or an OSA, before you fire them?
Well, I'm not the best guy to ask that question to because my rope's pretty long. That's one of the things I really sucked at as a team leader is I would let things go on way too long. Non-productive, unproductive real estate agents. So it's best to have some sort of formula together. But in my opinion, if you give a real estate agent, 30 prospects and they don't have 3 sales as a result of it, something's wrong. That's a lot of prospects to be thrown down the toilet. So, but within the course of about 3 months, you should know whether an agent's going to get it or not. Okay, and if they don't get it, they're not going to just change down the road. And if they've got motivational issues, you can't motivate. People have to be motivated on their own volition. Okay, so I think about 3 months. a good 30 prospects, you know, that the good opportunities to leverage off of if you got the right systems and training in place, which you do. Let's face it, we're able to go out there and sell homes, and we don't need 30 leads to sell 3 houses. Okay, so we've got to have these same sort of standards for all the other agents on there. Now, the next part, or the next series, we're going to be running through all of that and getting into that intimately in our independent contractor agreements. We've got it spelled out in there. So we're going to get into that into a little more detail in the future. All right, another question.
Okay, our next question comes from Frank Profeta. It says, after the presentation and you have collected all the yes agents, what criteria do you use in qualifying them? And also, if you have C personalities that complete the DISC profile before the interview, do you still invite them?
Okay, great question. That'll allow me to move forward a little bit and provide everybody watching and listening right now with some additional information. So during this Q&A, many questions that you're asking right now as team leaders, some of the agents have as well. But some of the things that come up would be like, who gets the leads? How do you determine who gets the leads? Well, we make it a point to say, look, the best leads go to the best agents. If you want more leads, you've got to be a better real estate agent. And you get all the tools and everything necessary, so those who perform the best will get the most leads. That's the fair way to do this. Okay? Everyone in this room right now will not be hired. Okay? There's no part-time agents either. We don't have a room. We don't have a room or a program for those of you who can only do this part-time. Okay, and our philosophy is that the customer is always right. Okay, if they say, "Look, I didn't hear from you," they didn't hear from you. It's not the customer's job to call us. All right, we're the professionals. We take responsibility when things go wrong. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to collect more money than you ever have before. Okay, and it's all covered in the workshop and training. All the collection of money and the real estate commissions and all this, that's all part of the coaching and training. Okay, so if we see that there's a win-win here, relationship that we can do, then we're going to get into that. Okay. So now what happens next is we thank the agents for attending. Okay, and just flat out say, hey, look, if you're interested in the next phase of the interview, pull out that interview acknowledgement form. Here it is, right here. Everybody see it? Okay. Check yes on that form right there. Read that along with your DISC personal concept that you completed, and if you're not done with it, finish it up. Leave it right there where you're sitting. Okay, don't move it. And then over the next 3 days, we're going to call you to discuss the opportunity, okay? That's all I need. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming, and let's go sell some houses. And then, of course, we're done, and we enter the room. But, you know, people come running up, and they want to talk to you one-on-one and all that kind of good stuff, and that's fine. It'll all play out just fine, okay? But you got to have a beginning and an end, and that's the end. Here's a screenshot of the interview acknowledgement form, okay, right here. And you can see, I wish to be considered for the next stage of this interview, yes or no. And if you don't want to do it, why? And this gives you a little feedback on how they view your system. The financial compensation for this position doesn't meet my needs. Right? That's a very important thing to know, because it allows you, if you get a lot of those, then either you've got an issue presenting the benefits to them. Okay, like I made a 50%, it's not even a 50% pay plan, actually 45% pay plan, sound really, really good by showing them what the real numbers are if they convert to sales. Okay, and in the aspect of no prospecting and no chasing prospects down and cold calling. Okay, just getting the leads and appointments, so you can make it sound really, really good, and it is good. Don't get me wrong; they're making more money than me per transaction, right? Okay, so, and then we explain to them a little bit more with the bottom paragraph there. You know, whether or not you've chosen to continue with it. We'd like to thank you and how it works. Okay, okay. Then, yes, we let everybody get out of the room now. Why did I ask the agents that were there to leave their forms in front of them? Okay, and just don't move them, just put them right in front of you. And that's because I want to connect the face with the form. So I run out there, and I immediately grab the form, if there was a person sitting up front, and I will make a little note on it after they leave the room. I'll write on there, yes, no, you know, ask stupid questions, not interested in full. I'll make my own notes on there based on what I perceive the person to be sitting at that spot to be. Okay? And yes, I'm making judgments based on how they talked, how they looked, how they showed up, whether they were late, whether they were on time, whether they were attentive, whether they were texting during the thing or sending emails out on their phone. I'm making notes of those things on the form. Okay? This is why you get into slow to hire. Okay? We don't want to just rush out there and hire these people. Either they buy into our system or they don't. And if they don't buy into what we do, you don't have any room for them. Okay? So you collect the information, match up their application, DISC personal concept, the interview acknowledgement form, and you have two stacks. One stack that is a definite yes, and the other stack that is a definite no. There really shouldn't be a maybe stack. Okay, so I don't like the three-stack thing. Go with the definites. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two, maybe it's three, depending on how many people you have in the room. Maybe it's zero. Okay, but have those standards. Okay, then we're going to call back the best candidates. All right, so in my office, I'd have somebody that would call them up, and they would qualify them over the phone with a little over-the-phone interview. And here are the questions, right here. Where do you presently work? What do you do with that company specifically? Right, well, I sell houses. No, do you just buyer's agent, sell listing agent? Do you get leads from that company? How long have you been there? What other businesses have you been in the past? Okay, so these are some great questions here that you can use, leverage off of, change to work for your philosophy at your company. Okay, and again, everything you're seeing right now is going to be posted for you on the coaching site, so you can pull it off, print it off, and have access to it. Okay. All right. Here's what I really like about it. What motivates you. All right. How do you intend to support yourself while getting started with our real estate team? Do you have any income coming in right now? If you don't sell a home over the next 2 months, are you going to go bankrupt? All right. So those are great questions, and you need to ask them now. Okay. Don't think it's too personal. How many times have you hired a real estate agent who's on the verge of bankruptcy, and they can't make it 60 or 90 days? They have to quit and go on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So at that time, if the agent is like, yeah, this guy's definitely good, okay, we're going to tell them either we're going to call them back, okay, and we huddle up on the information, or right in there we'll say, look, we want to get you back into the office here and for the final phase of the interview process. And we coordinate that time. That's a one-on-one deal, okay? So the best agents are then invited back to the office based on all of those things, okay? So let's just run through all of those things. That's the DISC personal concept plus how they respond to these questions, their own experiences and discoveries, their motivations, their talent, skill level, the notes that I made after the group interview based on who was there, questions they asked, presence, presentation that they made to me based on questions and that sort of thing. Okay, so all of that goes into consideration here, okay, and that determines really good people. And you will know, like the people that really want to work with you, they kind of get, they get moved to the front of the line, so to speak, okay? So all of those things add up to those are the best agents. Those are the people that we want to invite back in, okay? Now, we'll take a couple of other questions here, but when we get into part 3 of this series coming up here over the next week or two, we're going to discuss protecting your asset and training these people. When I say protecting your asset, when you bring on an independent contractor, an outside sales agent or employee, you want to make sure that they're working for your interest. They're watching your back. They're growing your business. Okay, that's what's important here. This is a profit center, so a profit center has to be protected. Okay, and then how we can train these people so they really become solid profit centers, not just for themselves, but for us. Right? You know that if we're benefiting, they are definitely benefiting as well because they make more money than we do per transaction. Okay, you are only as good as your lowest producer. Okay, so the things we're going to get into here, you know, the agent, they sign that letter of intent to transfer their real estate license over. The agent signs an employment contract. The agent's given the Success Now system, which are the audio tapes, DVDs, outside sales agents training manual. They're scheduled for the next upcoming training workshop. All that paperwork is turned into our office manager, who handles it, makes a file, and makes sure we've got everything in the file necessary on this individual. Copies of IDs, we get added to their insurance policy. All that's part of the action plan, or the agent office activity plan in our contact management system. When you hire a new employee, you got to have a checklist or a plan of action when you bring on somebody new, so that nothing falls through the cracks. Okay, and then of course there's an agent office or top producer training webinar that goes on every month for everybody on the team. So we're going to get into that on part 3 of our system here of getting the right people on the bus so we can go somewhere big and get there quick. But we had a couple of other questions there, Dana.
Yes. Actually, Kirk Messenger and Ira Miskin have similar questions, so I want to give you both of them. Kirk's question is, based on what you're seeing, do agents sometimes serve in both the inside sales and outside sales capacity? And he wants to know how the payouts are different.
Yeah, let's talk about that real fast. Really, there isn't. The inside salesperson is me, you, the team leader. Okay, the outside sales guys will take up the business that we can't get to, or the appointments that we book that for ourselves we're going on, but the ones we can't get to we'll pass on, and we'll obviously book appointments for the other guys. So there really are no inside salespeople on a real estate sales team under Craig Proctor's model unless there's 4 or 5 outside sales guys going hard. Okay, that's typically the way that it works. I see a lot of team leaders, real estate agents, platinum members, other coaching members hiring an inside sales guy when there's only 1 or 2 people. I'm like, I don't get that personally when we can make those calls ourselves. Now, I do get the fact that if you're generating a lot of future business, running editorial ads and free list ads, and you end up with a lot of future business 6 months out, that an inside salesperson would be a great leverage tool to follow up with all the future business and cook it and cultivate it while we spend our time working on the now business. But just understand that you're going to be investing months of salary and money into that inside salesperson until those leads start turning into appointments at their future business. I don't know why we would give now business to an inside salesperson when it can be called back by the real estate, the outside salesperson. Okay, so the purpose of the inside salesperson is to leverage off of when your business becomes a little bit fat and you want to generate more appointments versus handing more leads out to people that already have full schedules. So that's the way it ends up working. The inside salesperson becomes an extension of the best person to call back the leads because you can't get to them all. And it usually is around 4 or 5 outside sales guys. So the compensation is the same. When the outside salesperson is calling back the leads, they're getting paid just like they would be if I was giving an appointment, 50-50. Okay, they're not getting paid any extra or any less for calling back the leads and converting them to sales. So let's make sure we're really clear on that. Okay, inside salespeople come as a result of a very busy, growing real estate business. It doesn't really start from the beginning. You and me are the inside sales guy. And then our outside salespeople are inside salespeople because they're calling back leads that we can't get to. Okay, so and we can get into more of that, through operational coaching and training. But just make sure we get that in. And it's always going to be an ongoing discussion on how to best manage and handle all these leads. It's never going to change. But that seems to be the best model that we've discovered. All right, next question.
And Ira's question is very similar. You may have already answered this, but it's when he has a team that there is no ISA, how do you best talk to these interviewees about providing the leads and appointments, and who's doing the callbacks?
That's a question again. Are you talking about during the interview process? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like who's doing the callbacks? Who's doing the follow-up? Who's sending out the emails to get them to the group interview and all that stuff?
Well, I think you already answered it. I think his question is more when he does not have an inside salesperson, when does he pass off the leads to an outside salesperson if he's the one making the call?
Oh, okay. All right. So it's got nothing to do with hiring. This is an operational question. Well, we'll take the question. It's real simple. I'm the best guy to call back the leads. So I'm calling back every freaking lead I can get my hands on. I am not ever sitting looking outside the window when I'm the best guy to make it rain. So I'm calling back. So when I can't call back leads because I'm working on the business or I'm in a meeting or I'm on the phone or on an appointment, then the next best person on the team is calling back the leads. And when they're busy, then the next best person after them is calling back the leads. And when they're busy, the next best person after them. And when you've got 4 or 5 outside sales guys that are all really busy, there's obvious need for an extension of an inside person who will call back some now business, mostly future business, because that's the future business that has been growing and growing and growing in numbers that's beginning to all of it fall through the cracks now. So somebody's got to take that ball and run with it, and that's when the inside salesperson comes along. So it's literally that simple. There's no complication to it. Is that if you run your business any other way than the best people calling back the best leads, then you are hurting your opportunities for more cash flow. Don't know what else. You've got to live and die by that. That's why we're doing this 4-part series on getting the best people on our team, so that we can rest assured that we've got great people and we don't have to worry about leads falling through the cracks, not getting called back, and all that kind of good stuff. So, but anyway, and obviously we can deal more with that one-on-one too, Ira, and in our consult calls that we do and should spend more time doing. So, but with that, here's what we're going to do, because we're all out of time today. You're going to get an email from me on what our next part 3 series is. Okay, and that's going to happen over the next week or so. All right, so just be prepared for that. It's an unscheduled event, but we want to get all of these in as quickly as possible so that everybody can be benefiting from this system throughout this year. Okay, that's what this is all about. So with that, I'm going to encourage everyone to go back and listen to and watch this webinar again. It's going to be posted on the coaching site. Okay, I want everybody to go back, look at it, and watch it. Just part 1's there. There's part 2 right there. If you just print off this whole PowerPoint that you saw today, will be available on the coaching site. Print it off and have access to it, and it's just going to be your guideline, your franchise guideline for converting all of these prospects that you're generating through your automatic reverse prospect system. When I say prospects, agent prospects, and converting them to people that want to join your real estate business. Okay, so excellent time today. Very, very well worthwhile spending, so that we can continue to work on our business and take it to the next level through leveraging with people. So I want to thank all of the platinum members for making time today to get on their computer, watch this webinar, and participate. Always a blast, and obviously a lot more going on. So we're going to go back to selling homes and continue on with part 3, protecting your asset and training all of these agents that we're bringing on. So with that, thanks again, and let's go sell some houses. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.